everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the all-new Pestigors from Warhammer Quest Darkwater. Yes, we are back once more with the Gribblies of Darkwater in the box that Games Workshop very kindly sent me early to build up and paint with all of you, and, well, here they are, the Pestigors, the second most numerous enemy in the box after the Pox wretches. Get 8 of these in the box, and well, we got a little bit of admin to get through before we actually start the painting, because as you can see we've got 2 different primers going on. Yes, so you get 8 in the box, 1, 2, 3 and 4, and they can all be built one of 2 different ways, which aren't that different, but there's a couple of little bits and bobs that are kind of make them stand out from one another. For example, a weapon change here and there and all that kind of thing. So what we've ended up doing is we've actually ended up priming 1 set of 4 in Grey Seer and 1 set of 4 in Wraithbone, because we're going to go for basically one scheme, but then we get 2 variations by having 2 different primers, and it'll look really cool as a little mob of Pestigors, and it'll give us a nice set of things to do. So we're probably going to just focus on things as they come and go. There's obviously a couple of little bit of individual details that will come up. So there's stuff like these weapons, like the pitchfork and the big axe there. It's all kind of different. It's not really that much difference, because really the wood and all that's going to be the same, and the metallics are all going to be the same. But we'll pick things up as and when we need to, and well, we'll kind of show each primer as we go along and kind of see the difference as it's coming up. So with all that out of the way, we're going to grab some painting handles and our paints and our brushes, and we're going to get started. So the place we're going to start across all of our Pestigors is with some Agrax Earthshade. And we're going to apply this over top of all of their fur and hair. Well, and skin. So with that all done, we're then going to take some Gore-Grunta Fur, and we're going to apply this over top of the fur around their tummies. Like that. And we'll also apply this around the fur on their heads as well, if they have any, because some do not. So with that Gore-Grunta Fur all applied, we're then going to take a roughly 4 parts Cygor Brown to 2 parts Lamy and Medium mix, and we're going to apply this over top of the legs, but we're going to blend it. So we're going to bring it up to around about the knee, just like that sort of thing. Then we're going to wash the brush, get rid of the water, and then we're going to quite roughly, because we don't need it to be perfect here, gives it a kind of sort of more jagged feel. We're going to blend it just there at the knee. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is going to make a mix of roughly 2 parts Black Templar to 2 parts Wyldwood to 1 part Lamy and Medium mix. And we're going to use this over the top of the backs and the arms. So what we want to do is, for example, on this shoulder here, is we want to apply this mix coming around like so, down the arm, like that, and then inevitably over the hand as well. However, what we do need to do here is wash the brush, and then just in here we want to just blend it a little bit. Like that. And so with that all done, we're then going to take some Seraphim Sepia. And we're going to apply this over, well, the whole horrible lot. All the colours that we've just done. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Cygor Brown. And we're going to apply this over top of their hooves. This is not thinned down at all. We're going to apply it over the top of the hooves. And we're going to apply this over the top of all of their leather. So with that all done, our next colour is going to be some Gryph-Charger Grey. And we're going to apply this over top of any wraps and grips and bandages. So with that all done, whilst we're waiting for it to dry, what we're going to do is we're going to take some Creed Camo. And we're going to apply this over top of all of the cloth. So there's going to be mostly tabards, loincloths, and the head covers. So whilst we're waiting for all that Creed Camo to dry, what we're going to do next is we're going to take some Garaghak sewer and we're going to apply this over top of all of the shield wood. A sensible way to say that would be all of the wood on the shields. So with that all done, we're now going to take some Black Templar. We're going to apply this over the top of the Gryph-Charger Grey and over the top of the Creed Camo. And so with that all done, we're then going to take a little bit of Black Legion. And we're going to use this to pick out any string. So with that all done, we're then going to take two colours, Skeleton Horde and Cygor Brown. And we're going to apply these over the top of all the horns. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Skeleton Horde and we're going to apply this like so over the top of the entirety of the horn. Just like that sort of thing. And then what we're going to do is wash the brush, grab a little bit of Cygor Brown, and then towards the tip of the horn, just going to apply some Cygor Brown like so to around about halfway. Wash the brush once more, then grab some Skeleton Horde. I'm going to use this to just soften the transition. Like that. With that all done to the horns, we're then going to take some Athonian Camoshade and we're going to apply this over top of the wood of the weapons. And with that Athonian Camoshade all applied, we're then going to take some Poxwalker. And we're going to apply this over the top of the distended heads. No, decapitated heads. Not distended. It's the wrong word. I'm trying to be fancy. We're going to apply this over the top of the heads. But what we're also going to do is we're going to apply this over the top of the cloth that we did with Creed Camo and Black Templar. And so with that Poxwalker all applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors. And we're going to apply this over the top of all the remaining details. We are going to add some different coloured metallics as well, but for now we're just going to get this over the top of everything that remains, and then we'll sort it out after. With all that Iron Warriors applied, we then take some thinned down Runelord Brass. And we're going to apply this over the top of large tummy armours, any bells, and any jewellery or heraldic markings on the armour plates. Stuff like that. So with that all done, we're now going to take a roughly 2 parts Militarum Green to 1 part Lamium Medium mix. And we're going to apply this over the top of the tummy armour that we did with Runelord Brass. And so with that all done, what we're then going to do, whilst we wait for it to dry, is for the rest of the metallics, we're going to take 2 colours, Agrax Earthshade and Gore-Grunta Fur. And we're going to apply this over both the silver and the brass. Now what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Agrax Earthshade like this. Get it on there. Like so. Looking good. Then what we're going to do is wash the brush. Grab a little bit of Gore-Grunta Fur. And then we're just going to apply this over the same areas in a kind of patchy way. Like that. And then, because we've kind of mixed it on the model, we can just move on to the next bit until we run out of paint on the brush. Then we can start the process again. And with that shading all applied, we are then going to take a roughly 1-to-1 mix of Lamium Medium and Mantis Warriors Green. We're going to apply this now over the top of our green armour to just artificially brighten it up and add a bit of yellow into it. Well, yellowy green. Like that. So with that all done, our Pestigors are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready. And they're already looking pretty good. However, we're not going to leave them there. We're going to take them to the next level and add just a couple of highlights that actually isn't that much we're going to do, because they're already looking grim and ill and horrid. But there is a little bit more horridness that we can add, and a little bit of brightness. So that's what we're going to do next. So the first first highlight that we're going to do is some Karak Stone. And we're going to dry brush this on, because again, we don't want these to be like super clean highlights, as it were. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the Karak Stone to dry brush the green, the dark brown of the skin, the Gryph-Charger Grey wraps and all the leather and the wood. So with that dirty Karak Stone all applied, what we're then going to do is we're going to take some Flayed One Flesh and we're going to dry brush this over the top of any areas that have the little pustules, boils and things. And so with that all done, we're then going to take 3 colours: Mantis Warriors Green, Nazdreg Yellow and Volupus Pink. I'm going to use this to pick out all of those boils. So we're going to start with some Mantis Warriors Green just here around this collection on his tummy, like that. Then we're going to wash the brush, grab some Nazdreg Yellow. I'm going to use this on this little collection, just there, like that. Use it there too, like that. And then finally, of course, similar deal, bit of Volupus Pink. Use this to pick out these ones. So with that all done, we're then going to take a teensy tiny little dot of Moot Green. I'm going to apply this over top of all their eyeballs. So with that all done, we actually do have a little bit of line highlighting to do. Not very much though. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little bit of Ungor Flesh and we're going to use this to add some little highlights to the hooves. Like this. And then what we're going to do is across the hooves, we're going to use this to draw lots of little lines going down across them. It's a really cool little effect for the hooves, like that. But the other thing we're going to do with the Ungor Flesh is we're going to use this to pick out any teeth. Just like that. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take a DIY stippling brush, and this is a small layer brush that I've clipped all the bristles off. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some Cygor Brown. I'm going to use this to add some rust to our silver. I'm just going to stipple this on in patches around all the silver details. And so with that Cygor Brown all applied, what we then do is we take some Iron Breaker. We do much the same thing, just around the edges. We stipple on this silver like this. Only this time we're also going to do this over the top of the green and the brass as well. And so with that all done, to finish off our Pestigors, we're going to take a little bit of blood for the blood god. And we're going to apply this in the severed necks of our grizzly trophies. You can also apply some of this around the sort of eyes. You can almost dry brush it on as well. Just like that sort of thing. And so with their bases now complete in the same style as the rest of the Darkwater set so far, our Pestigors are now finished, and they are very numerous in Act 1, and I'm sure Act 2 and 3 as well. You just encounter them all the time. And you'll get very intimate with how their stat sheet works. You'll probably be able to memorize it. I think I nearly did in the end after completing Act 1, but I think they're fantastic. If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel, and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/Warhipster, just like all of these wonderful, amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.